So when Frankie needed money one day, Judas pulled out a roll of tens and placed them on a footstool just above the plotted plain, saying, "Take your pick, Frankie boy, my loss will be your gain." Okay, looking back, this is the land of Mordor. This is Mount Doom in there. I just slept here on the top. You can't see it, it's the sun. And I'm going down. I have to go now 5,000 feet down, which is nearly 2,000 meters, 1,700 meters. But it's going down. I mean, it can be worse. Yeah, what happened? I went 7 days through this burnt zone, and I'm really done with it. I need a day in the town, with a hotel, with a room, with a bed. The bed is not so important. I need something clean. Everything you see here, the dust, everything is so dusty. It's not only sand, it's all dust and ashes. So I'm looking forward. I posted something on Facebook. If someone can give me a room, maybe in Quincy or so, I would need a zero. Yeah, and if I'm lucky, I can give you an update when I'm in town. I'm going now down to Belden, but Belden is only a few houses. There's no hotel, nothing. So maybe I need to get a hitch into 30 mile away, about 50 kilometers away, Quincy town. There's even also no hotels, but maybe some more lodging options. Yeah, in the meanwhile, I see some nice flowers, but only burnt trees. Talk to you later. Okay, this is a long descent here through the bushes. Yeah, I slept well on the ridge last night, but it was a fun story. There's typically deers around who want to get your salt, and therefore I put everything under my vestibule just to protect it from the deers. But there must have been one smart deer which pulled out one shoe under my vestibule, and out of the shoe it pulled my sock, and then it licked on the sock and tried to get all the salt out of it, and I had the sock on my feet through burnt zone for 8 days now. So if you see a dying deer up there, up in Belden, it might be the deer who tried to eat my sock. Other than that, it's getting pretty warm. I don't see a lot of people. I'm really wondering why there are not so many people on the hike. I only heard rumors that some are skipping this section due to the heat and the burn zone and everything. And yeah, and a few are probably only going at the night. And I heard someone close at my tent at 6 o'clock who came up the hill. He maybe started midnight because it was 6 hours up to the peak. Never mind. I have overall 14 miles to the valley. Half of it is done, and overall it's more than 5,000 feet, maybe 800 meters, and I have half of it done. Looking really forward to get into the small town of Belden and to drink something starting with B. Talk to you later.
Well, Frankie Lee, he sat right down, put his fingers to his chin, but with the cold eyes of Judas on him, his head began to spin. Could you please not stare at me like that? He said, it's just my foolish pride. For sometimes a man must be alone, and this is no place to hide. Well, Judas, just winked and said, "Alright, I leave you here. But you better hurry up and choose which of those bills you want before they disappear. I'm gonna start picking right now. Just tell me where you'll be." Judas pointed down the road and said, "Eternity." "Eternity," said Frankie Lee, with a voice cold as ice. "That's right, eternity. Thought you might call it paradise." "I don't call it anything," said Frankie Lee with a smile. "All right," said Judas Priest, "I'll see you after a while." Well, Frankie Lee, he sat back down, feeling low and mean, when just then a passing stranger burst upon the scene, saying, "Are you Frankie Lee the gambler, whose father's deceased? Well, if you are, there's a fellow calling you, and his name is Priest." "Oh yes, my friend," said Frankie Lee in fright. "I do recall him very well. In fact, he just left my side." "Yes, that's the one," said the stranger, as quiet as a mouse. "Well, my message is he's down the road, stranded in a house." Well, Frankie Lee, he panicked. He dropped everything and ran until he came unto the spot where Judas Priest did stand. "What kind of house is this," he said, "way I have to come to Rome?" "It's not a house," says Judas Priest. "It's not a house, it's a home." Well, Frankie Lee, he trembled. He soon lost all control over everything which he had made, while mission bells did toll. He just stood there, staring at the big house as bright as any sun, with 24 windows and a woman's face in every one. Well, up the stairs ran Frankie Lee with the soulful bounding leap, and foaming at the mouth, he began to make his midnight creep. For 60 nights and days he raved, but on the 17th he burst into the arms of Judas Priest, which is where he died of thirst. No one tried to say a thing when they carried him out in jest, except of course the little neighbor boy who carried him to rest. And he just walked along alone, with his guilt as well concealed, and muttered underneath his breath, "Nothing is revealed." this song is simply that no one should ever be where one does not belong. So when you see your neighbor carrying something, help him with his load, and don't go mistaking paradise for that home across the road.
Different situation here. I went out in Belden and was really tired, was really exhausted. My feet are not feeling well, so I have problems under my feet. But then I got in contact with the Quincy Trail Angels via the Facebook group, and immediately Bruce reacted and said, I'll pick you up, I'll take you from Belden into a bigger town, into Quincy. And then a lady got to me, she is injured, she twisted her ankle. But nevertheless, Bruce was very nice. He drove us around, he drove us to the pharmacy as well for the twisted ankle. Tried to call all hotels were booked here in Quincy. So I stranded now in a kind of a hiker hostel where there's about 20 hikers hanging out, and they said you can use laundry, you can use the refrigerator, the cooking environment, everything. You can use the shower. So and there were not many hikers there, so I immediately went into the shower and got my laundry done. And then several cars came with people, so there was all around 15 or 20 people there. And I said, I cannot sleep with 15 people in one room. There was just this one living room, which was open for the hikers, so I put my tent outside. Then it got late, it got 8 o'clock, and I asked all the other guys who wants to come with me to dinner. And they all had dinner already. So in America you have dinner prior 8. So I went out at 8, everything was closed. I went to the Saves More, I don't know if you can see it. There's a store which is called Save More. It's a grocery store, and in this grocery store I got this nice set of see it. This nice set of dinner. It's kind of a pale ale beer, a cider, a citra, a Mexican sauce, and last but not least Doritos. So I'm putting my Doritos in the Mexican sauce and drink some cider without alcohol, and then if this is finished I drink the pale ale beer with the alcohol. So that's kind of living like on the road with Jack Kerouac. I see the cars driving by, show you a little bit of the environment. It's a late evening in Quincy. I'm really happy that I got out. Besides that hiker hostel which will not make me very happy, so I put the tent outside and just sleep outside there. For tomorrow I booked the room. I need some real recoverage, having my own shower, having sort out my packages and my food before I go back on trail. Yeah, that's about it. I'm in Quincy now. I feel like a homeless person sitting in front of the grocery store and having some chips and beer. but I can tell you it's feeling great. Talk to you later.